Ganapati Baba Moria. You are tuned into your ultimate gateway to Hinduism. You know it and you're right. It's Sadhana on S3 with me, your host, Alisha Gaya Prasad. In today's lineup, we guarantee to keep you glued to your couch. We enter into the world of auspiciousness by honoring the removal of obstacles during Ganesha Chaturthi, then enter the world of conscious cooking with Radhika Gounden, and meet the harsh reality of a world torn between love versus tradition with Cathy and Pooven Narainsamy. Lastly, we leave you in the peaceful world of bhajans with a musical piece of pure love. The Hindu god of wisdom or prophecy, the god of new beginnings and the Lord who removes all obstacles, Lord Ganesha's anecdotes form an integral part of Hindu mythology and impart great life lessons indeed. Ganesh Chaturthi is celebrated annually to mark the birth of Lord Ganesha, and in this new normal, Guru Strinivasa Sean Pillay and his family from Queensburgh allowed Sadhana the opportunity to be a part of their Ganesha puja.
Ganesha Chaturthi. It's widely celebrated throughout the world, and on this day it's like it's his birthday as well.
Ganesha Chaturthi is, for me, it's more of celebration, instead being a prayer, celebration of Ganesha, to thank him, thanksgiving for everything that we have, for being blessed, just to keep us safe, our family, our friends. It's become a part of us.
Ganesha, the reason why we hold him at such high esteem in our lives is, for one, it dissolves all people's problems. Another reason, is known to remove all obstacles from our path, which leads to like prosperity and well-being. Fortunately for us, like we have our own temple at home, and we take prayer. We pray for peace, for healing the world, healing nature. I've never ever fathomed that I would have Ganesha at my home as well.
It was actually given to us by our Guru. He had one that he had from a previous temple that they had given it to him, so he had offered it to us because of going to our temple and witnessing the way he does prayer. So we tend to follow in that direction. So whatever we do is basically whatever we've learned from him.
And I think for me, unknowingly, I was groomed to doing this because I joined Cathy Temple at about 15 years ago. And I had a close friend that asked me to join in doing Abhishekam at the temple, and which we went and took part in this Abhishekam prayer. Abhishekam is the bathing of the deity. So I think all of this stemmed from there. I was groomed from that. And then watching the Guru in our temple doing the prayer and stuff, and watching attentively to what he's doing, I think I haven't perfected it or anything, but to the knowledge and what I've grasped from him is what I'm displaying today.
Most of the prayers that we do now is from the time we started going to our temple and with our Guru. He's actually taught us a lot about our prayer and mantras, and so I think from then we actually started observing and understanding the prayer. And from the time we actually put our temple at home, we've actually become more involved with Lord Ganesha and with our prayer.
Pray to Ganesha to clear all those obstacles, all those maliceness that you may have in you. You ask him to clear all these obstacles from your path and put sweet thoughts into your mind. So when you're talking to somebody, you're talking words that are sweet and kind to their, it's like nectar to them, So no hurtful words, no harmful words.
Garam to beautify them, to dress them up. Every week I pick a sari that we're going to put on our amma, and then I match the clothing of Karpaswamy and Ganesha, and then the jewelry that also needs to go on them. We just match everything. For us, our enjoyment is to cook and bake and share with everyone. So everything just mixes together, so it's all good. Well, prasadam is just, I guess, individual choice of what you want to make. Some people just make like sweet rice and kadla, or just offer fruits and milk. It's just your choice. For me, I go a little bit overboard, but I enjoy doing that.
Well, my name is Yuveshin Gavanda. I'm the youngest in my family. I started wearing the dhoti because it's custom to wear dhoti, and we actually had to prepare for most of the stuff. So I've been learning. Yesterday I've done the abhishekam on my own.
All that I can say to people, if you have Ganesha in your life, he will assist you. He will clear all obstacles from your path.
Welcome back. Cooking is like painting or writing a song. Just as there are only so many notes or colors, there are only so many flavors. It's how you combine them that sets you apart. Our regular Radhika Gounden accomplishes this with her unique flavors as she prepares a sweet potato dish, popularly known as Shakarkand in India.
Vanakkam, welcome to Sadhana's Conscious Cooking on S3. Today we are preparing a roasted sweet potato salad with a spicy dressing, which I'm sure you will enjoy. So we begin by setting the base for our salad, which is a combination of baby spinach and rocket, also known as arugula. I have already roasted my sweet potato with a little bit of salt and some brown sugar. As you can see, the edges have caramelized very nicely, and that adds so much of flavor to our salad. So I start by loading our sweet potato onto the bed of greens. Position it nicely so it covers it. And I've done that. I've got all of my lettuce. You can see the orange just pops when put against the green. So I've got some toasted sear butter, and I'm going to throw it over. I'm throwing some crumbed feta on top, and as you can see, the colors are like springing up. I'm now adding my pomegranate seeds here, and it's adding a pop of color. So now that we have a lovely flame going, I'm just going to reach out, and be careful, not everybody should try this. Get it charred nicely. You can see it starting to blacken. And what you should be doing is having a little bag that you can seal ready, because as soon as it's done, it's black, you're going to pop it into this little packet here, and you're going to seal it up and let it sweat a little bit. So when the chili has sweated enough, you can remove the black bits. So our chili has been sweating here for a while now. You can see it's all, it's collapsed, it's lost its shape. Although it's lost its shape, it's gained a lot of flavor. So what we do is, please be careful when handling these chilies. They're actually, the red chilies are quite hot, and you don't want to touch your face or your family members with that chili hands. So I'm just clearing away the char. So I think now that our charred chilies are ready, we need to get moving to our dressing. I'm keeping some olive oil. I'm putting in some runny honey, some coriander. I'm adding in some mayo. Don't forget the juice of half a lemon. Okay, just a little bit. You don't want it too acidic. And I'm going to toss in my charred chili. Okay, salt to season. So we're ready to blend our spicy chili dressing. Yeah, we want to get all that lovely flavors in every bit of sauce and make sure it's well incorporated and that it's evenly spread. Our spicy salad dressing is ready for our roasted sweet potato salad. And if you can see closely, the red chili flakes are visible. A little bit of that charness is there from the chili, and the color comes from our coriander. And the consistency is exactly what we need, which is a pouring consistency for this lovely sweet potato salad. Yum! Our roasted sweet potato salad with spicy dressing, a feast for the eyes and the palate.
Thank you for staying tuned to Sadhana on S3. Falling in love is quite possibly one of the most beautiful things to experience. When it happens, love can make you feel as if nothing can go wrong in your life. Cathy and Pooven Narainsamy are the perfect example of this message. Today, they take us on a journey of their love where, despite facing many challenges, they found greater understanding and purpose through Hinduism.
In 1993, I met Pooven, and Pooven comes from a very staunch Hindu family, and I come from an extremely staunch Christian family. Pooven was in my house every single day from the day we met until the day he decided to tell my dad, listen, I want to marry your daughter and I need to get your blessings.
So understandably, your father was not very impressed because of the fact that the question of religion came in.
And my dad started questioning Pooven, and I think Pooven soon realized that his knowledge of Hinduism was very limited.
He began to ask me questions about Hinduism, and to basically get a gauge of what was my understanding. And so when my father-in-law started to ask me questions, I became quite agitated because I realized that I didn't really know a lot of my religion.
My parents were not happy. They were not supportive of the fact that we were going to get married. And also I think we were young and we were a little bit arrogant, and we thought, we can do this. And the wedding is one thing, but the marriage is something else. But we did get married, and I did respect that we were going to run our household as Hindus. And I went to the first Hindu wedding in my life. Was my own Hindu wedding. I had no family there, and it was quite a lot to take in. I was young, in my early 20s, and suddenly everyone was telling me, you got to do this on a Friday, and you must put so many dots on the lamp, and this is how you wash it, and you mustn't eat meat. And I knew nothing, because this man that I got married to, Pooven, was a carefree person at that time. Picture this, he was riding a motorbike when I met him.
So Cathy's interest in Hinduism, it was minimal. So I didn't want to force the issue upon her. So because it was difficult to try to engage her in religious conversations, because I myself was still learning.
After our marriage, my mom and dad were friends with us. My dad came immediately 2 days after I got married, and he said, I am his daughter and he can't change anything. And my parents were very positive people. They looked at things like everything God has a plan. Whatever people are doing in the temples and things, that is devotional service. They have so much of faith in what they're doing, for the Lord. And that is what I came from, bhakti. Christianity was having faith and love to Jesus Christ, and here the people are exactly the same. They have so much of love to God, and they do all the prayers and everything so diligently because of their bhakti. And I realized I wasn't much different. I already had the bhakti in me, I just needed to focus it. And studying the Bhagavad Gita, I fell in love with Lord Krishna, and I fell in love with everything about Lord Krishna.
I had started to make some efforts in reading, in learning the scriptures, reading the Bhagavad Gita. I read it a few more times. I had a little bit more in-depth understanding of it now.
But now I needed to find out about this Hinduism. I'm here, I'm saying to Poovan I'm a Hindu, I'm dressing like a Hindu, I'm doing things like a Hindu, but I'm not a Hindu, I don't feel anything, I'm absolutely ice cold spiritually. And then Poovan gave me the Bhagavad Gita, and it was the little silver book that the UHDC distributes free of charge, and he asked me to read the book.
Om Bhur Swaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Na Prashodaya.
The other thing we live in our life here in our home is we let the scriptures decide what we should and should not do, and that's from Bhagavad Gita chapter 16 verse 24, where Lord Krishna says, let your scriptures decide what you should and shouldn't do. And that was one mistake I made in the beginning, where I was trying to find answers from everybody else. Everything teaches you about righteousness. Everything puts you on a path towards God. So the only thing I can say to anybody listening, that stay on the path. There's thorns, there's stones, there's rocks, but persevere and stay on the path wherever you are, whatever you do, because no scripture teaches you bad things. Nothing teaches you bad things. You find something that suits you and you go for it.
It is said that when all participants in a bhajan sing in unison, sacred vibrations are produced and divine energies are released. When these vibrations fill the world, what changes cannot they bring about? When one sings alone, the heart is merged in the song. But when many sing together, it acquires a divine power. Having said that, we leave you with a divine bhajan in praise of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. From the Sadhana team, keep shining your beautiful divine light into the world. Vanakkam.
Vigna Vinashaka Gananatha, Vigna Vinashaka Gananatha, Vigna Vinashaka Gananatha, Vigna Vinashaka Gananatha, Gajanana hai Gajavadana, Gajanana hai Gajavadana, Gajanana hai Gajavadana, Gajanana hai Gajavadana, Gananatha, 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 Pranava Swarupa, Gananatha, Pranava Swarupa, Gananatha, Hey Pranava Swarupa, पुरीश्वर गणनाथा पतिपुरीश्वर गणनाथा पतिपुरीश्वर गणनाथा पतिपुरीश्वर गणनाथा गजानना है गजवदना गजानना है गजवदना गजानना है गजवदना गजानना है गजवदना विघ्न विनाशक गणनाथा विघ्न विनाशक गणनाथा गजानना है गजवदना गजानना है गजवदना गणनाथा 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 प्रणव स्वरूप गणनाथा प्रणव स्वरूप गणनाथा पतिपुरीश्वर गणनाथा पतिपुरीश्वर गणनाथा गजानना है गजवदना गजानना है गजवदना गजानना है गजवदना गजानना है गजवदना विघ्न विनाशक गणनाथा